So here's how I stopped burning out every few weeks, and to show you that I know what I'm talking about, I'm just gonna show you my unsuccessful and successful examples. So in December 2023, I was on this insanely productive routine where I would basically wake up at 3:30 a.m. I would smash my YouTube work, I would learn, I would go to the gym, and basically before you even woke up and got to the work, I already did your days of work. So then I would go to school, but in reality, being all this busy and all this productive, I got a burnout. I couldn't sustain it, so I was doing bullshit. I was playing games, porn, anime, movies, Minecraft vids, everything, and it continued. And then it continued. And then in the other example, number 2, in August 2023, I was hyper productive doing YouTube all day long, literally all day. Can you see that? That's crazy. But then I would just randomly start playing video games. And then the trend would repeat. I would do bullshit again and again and again, and then I would just fall into another rut. Example now is that for almost a month now, I am consistent. I don't have any burnout, and it's fine. So I was doing YouTube, I was doing a fuck ton of gym, and sports. I was running, I was prepping for a 100-kilometer ultra marathon. I was doing YouTube, learning ultra marathon, and then here we are at this point where I also doing YouTube learning. But can you see this yellow block? That's me actually feeling very stressed and kind of procrastinating on the tasks. So I was close to another burnout because I started to feel that the stress was building up just a few days ago. But I already was so experienced with the burnout that yet I didn't burn out. As you can see, I already know how to tackle it. I'm still here, waking up, smashing my work. It's like I've done 3 hours of scripting. I recorded one video. Now I recorded the second video. So what did I do this time? Well, I learned from my mistakes, and I'm gonna share what I learned. First is the reason why even burnout happens. It's very insightful once you know the reason, the cause, and how to tackle it. So that's basically from a book called Flow by Mikhail Tchaikovsky, or I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly, but basically when your levels of challenge and skill match, you're in a flow channel, aka you casually doing a fuck ton of work and feeling amazing. When your skills are too low but your challenge is too high, see, skills low, challenge too high, you get anxiety, aka burnout. And when you get a very high skill but your challenge is low, you get bored, aka your comfort zone. You don't really grow, you just do the thing, it's okay. Most people are here, and we usually aren't here because we are on self-improvement. We push ourselves, and we want to get here into flow state, doing a fuck ton of work, feeling amazing, being ultra productive, and sustaining it for a long time. But we can't, because we usually go here to the anxiety, aka burnout. So my anxiety formula in order to actually tackle anxiety is my high self-esteem plus influencers' high self-esteem equals anxiety. Why? Because if you think about it, this anxiety, aka burnout, is like all in this quadrant where challenge is too high but skill is too low. So what can cause that to happen? Well, we got only 2 main options that could that could make us choose a high challenge even though we have low skills, which is kind of retarded, right? So first one is our dumb overconfident self, and second one is other dumb overconfident self. Hence, we get anxiety when we get overly high, self-esteem. We get overly ambitious. We aren't realistic. So when other influencers like Hamza got overly high self-esteem as well, that's when we get anxiety. The thing is that Hamza and other influencers probably have enough skills. They are like 22, 26, 24, but we are like 17. We're just teenagers. We just, came out from playing video games and watching anime, and you just don't know about how skilled and how serious they are. They got serious intentions. They are much older than us. But you and I, on the other hand, well, you and I don't have those skills. So expectations is the second main point. Now that you know that you're usually burnt out because you just doing too much. You're just over challenging yourself when your skills are too low. So the second point is to manage your expectations. And I love this ego lifting story by Raf. Absolutely amazing. Basically, imagine that one guy coming into the gym and he has a great goal of benching, 50 kilograms or 100 kilograms plates, right? But he comes to the gym and he puts on a 100 kilograms plate. He tries to bench it. He dies, obviously, because he's never been to the gym before. He's absolute beginner, but he wants to hit this goal. So he tries, he fails, he dies, like, okay, he survived. He got his spotter, right? But then there is a second guy who goes to also like absolutely the same conditions, but he just grabs the bar. Then the other week, after benching just the bar, he grabs 2 kilograms, then 5 kilograms, then 10 kilograms, then 20, then 50, then 70, then 100 kilograms. And over a year, both people might go to the gym consistently, do all, all the gym stuff, but in reality, if this ego lifter just tries to bench 100 kilograms, he's just ego lifting. He's not actually making progress. He's still at level 0 because he just thinks that he can go there and bench 100 kilograms. So you might not be an ego lifter in the gym. It sounds like stupid. Like, why would you do that? That's obvious. But you might be ego lifting somewhere else in your life. If you've never worked 10 hours a day in your life, why would you suddenly think you develop this much capacity in one day? Like, okay, I'm gonna work 10 hours a day tomorrow and for the rest of my life, yay! That's ego lifting. If you've never woken up at 5 a.m. consistently, why would you suddenly think that you can get there in 1 week? Think about it. You've never woken up that early. If you've never made a single dollar online in your life, why would you suddenly think you can make 10K a month? In 6 months? If you never even made $1, $100, $1,000, it's ego lifting. So I'm not saying those things are impossible to do and you shouldn't strive to do them, but why would you expect to nail it on the first try? Why would you expect it to get it so fast? You will get there and probably still like 50 times faster than others because other people are just brain dead. Like the fact that you can watch this video, me, pure education slides, shows that you have an incredible attention span. So you will still achieve it fast, but if you don't expect a miracle to happen, you won't be disappointed, you won't get anxious, and ultimately you won't burn out, which means you will stay more consistent and you'll fucking smash it and you'll get there even faster, right? So it makes sense. Humility is king when it comes to burnout and overworking, because we as ambitious teenagers are very easily swayed towards, this side of us that just says, yeah, I'm gonna work 10 hours a day, I'm gonna do everything, I'm gonna do all the good habits, everything, and I'm gonna, be so productive that it just, people can't ignore me, all the stuff. Like, work at your own pace is the third and final tip, because great shit takes time. And the thing is, you have time, you are a teenager, you are 17 years old, so take it. Take your fucking time. I wish I could shake myself, grab myself, my previous self, past self on the shoulders and just shake him and say, take your fucking time. Why would you rush so much? And you should work at the limit of your own pace. Not just at your own pace, but at the limit, because you actually want to improve, right? So you want to deep work more and more and more and develop this capacity and, be on this edge of your abilities in order to grow. But what other options do you have? Working on the limit of not your own pace, taking someone else's pace, pretending it's yours, is ego lifting. So I was watching Alex Hormozi the other day, just before actually, the point of my kind of 3-hour mini rut, where I was close to burnout and just, fuck it all. I was watching Alex Hormozi before that, and he always, I hear him say a lot that he works 14 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and Layla Hormozi, his wife, does absolutely the same, and for years, and it's absolutely fine. And I'm like, yeah, let's kill it, volume will outwork everyone. So it doesn't really work like that. I was just pretending to be someone else and to walk at someone else's pace, but I'm not. He is 36 years old. He's built multi-million companies, a bunch of them, 100 million more. So that's kind of stupid, right? And if you think you are special and you'll manage it and you'll David Goggins it, great. But then you won't make any progress because your expectations don't actually meet the reality. I think it's also called delusional when you just think something is, but it doesn't. It's like, it's so easy, bro. Actionable step: if you feel close to burnout, slow the fuck down. Take off 25 to 50% of your task. It's actually an actionable step from a book by Cal Newport, the same guy who wrote like Deep Work book. Slow productivity. Take off 25 to 50% of your tasks. You shouldn't do that much if you can't do that much. It's like you're obviously running to the cliff and you don't stop. You just continue running or you speed up. Like, what? So, third, I don't know why third, but your goal is your route, which is the last point. So, if you work hard and feel anxious, sometimes you burn out. You likely have a goal and a deadline for that goal, but now keep it in mind that humans are awfully optimistic when it comes to predicting the time needed for big projects. I want you to do one thing that'll get rid of burnout forever. If you feel anxious, even though you work hard, just double the time you give yourself for your goals. You might think, wait. I'll get that in a second. This will get rid of anxiety and burnouts you get. Entirely, fully, you will stay consistent. Second, well, like coming from this, you get to enjoy your work more. Hence, you get to be more productive. Hence, you get to your goals faster. It's not a very hard scheme, but once you actually do the thing and once you're emotionally attached to, this idea of being a hard worker, you aren't really mindful about it, that's when the problems come. And for years and years, you just do the same thing of doing too much, burnout, doing too much, burnout. So you might think, wait, but setting a bigger deadline means it will take longer for me to achieve this goal. And yes, it will, but your initial deadline wasn't realistic to begin with. You would just fall off this cliff. Think about it. If you work as hard as you possibly can on the right thing and you move the needle forward, what else can you do? You might think, okay, you basically have even like, one second. So I just made a quick slide, a formula: productivity equals volume times leverage. So in order for you to achieve your goals faster, you gotta have more work. You gotta be more productive. So you can either put more volume or put more leverage. Put in more volume isn't really the right thing because you gotta do this over time. It does work fantastically well, but you can't do this right now. Just double your volume. It doesn't work like that. You should gradually build it up, or else you're just ego lifting. Or like if you have a crazy ass reason, like if your mom needs $100,000 in like a year, she dies. Okay, fair enough. Triple, quadruple because you got this motivation. But for most of us, we don't have this. So we can increase leverage, which is basically working on the things that matter. Our leverage is our time. Our leverage might be our proficiency, our experience, right? So you can't really double on your volume, but you can double on your leverage. So I always thought I could just do more when I was already exhausted. I was already on the brink of burnout, and I was like, man, it feels so good. I want to do more. I was on the brink of burnout. I didn't feel good. I feel anxious. It's this stupid controversy from your own feelings and thoughts and other people's feelings and thoughts. And other people always say, yeah, you couldn't do more, you can do more. But in reality, you are exhausted. So I was already working at my near max capacity. So I was just shooting myself in the foot with this. Work as hard as you can, but give yourself plenty of time to make it high quality. Because the piece of content is only like a good piece of content is only late for a few days until it's late, but a bad piece of content is bad forever. Something like this. So if I get to 10k a month by the end of 20 instead of 18, is this a disaster for me? Well, no, because I'm still at the top 1% earner at 20 years old. Can you imagine 20? Not 30, not 50, not 70, 20. Would I want to get there faster? Fuck yes. And will I do everything I can to get there faster? Yes, but setting this new deadline for me means I can work as hard as possible for as long as it is required to achieve my goals. I don't have any constraints. I can work as hard as I can. But I just see that I have this bigger, goal, not in 1 month, not something impossible. It seems more manageable. So actionable step for you is to, if you feel anxious, even though you work hard, 10x the time you give yourself for your goals. It's the same actionable step, but please do this, because if you don't change your behavior in the same situation, it means you didn't learn. And you will just repeat my own mistakes of just getting the burnouts. Why would you want to do that, right? Yeah, okay. So, insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. It's from Far Cry 3. So, try this and see what happens. You can always change your goals back in a few weeks if it doesn't work, if you feel like it's awful and all that stuff. But please, that's at least this is what really skyrocketed my burnout. Just got rid of it fucking completely, because usually burnouts are just in our heads. It's just because we are too stressed. We don't want to do too much because we can't do too much. So if you like my advice, you can get much more with my one-on-one high performance coaching, where you get my full in-person support and a course with all the knowledge you need to get to your highest levels of productivity as soon as possible. If you're interested, click the top link in the description right now. Improve.